So then all I hear is someone saying, you're going to need to go get scissors and shoestring.
What are you making?
This is what happens in St. Catharines. Get scissors. So you're going to attach it to the back of your car. You're going to get hit 72 miles an hour.
Listen.
Would you happen to have a bag of leeches anywhere?
Where's the clock tower?
The Dad Collective Podcast.
And we're back. I'm Daniel.
I'm Paul.
It was a little more corporate. And this is
The corporate version of the Dad Collective Podcast.
we should change our logo to like a corporate logo.
Just, you
like
know.
TDCP. Just like a law firm.
TDCP.
Yeah.
That's not...
Is that the TDCP? Yeah, Dad Collective Podcast.
Yeah, that's not like a law firm. It would be the Dad Collective Bernstein and Co.
Podcast.
Or something like that.
All right. We'll have to. I'm not a lawyer. And I never will be.
Thank freaking God for that.
Trust me, I agree with that.
So how are you, man? You good?
I'm good. I'm excited for today. I'm wearing the shorts.
Because you wore shorts. So, you know, he started, we get the feet comments. Now he's just, you're just teasing them. You're just teasing
I wanted to go
the
with
audience.
today I went with the dad brown sock style.
Yeah, that's like, it's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I thought I'd shake it up. I think
know.
patterns are going out, so I'm trying to move
You're
with
going
the
solids?
I'm going solids.
That's fine, man. One day I would just love to sit inside of your head and
Shake in fear.
just literally vomit all over the place.
So you're gonna just mess up my head with.
I would just
throw up?
fit in with your family that pukes every day.
It's horrible.
It's a
my
horrible
kid's still
thing.
puking.
She's still sick.
Yeah, I mean because we filmed the last episode like 20 minutes ago. So yes.
Gosh, man, you're just ruining the movie magic for these people.
I'm not gonna like falsify her medical condition just for this
No, because
podcast.
we will get like neglectful parents again when,
Exactly.
you know, apparently you hate doing things for your kids.
Yeah, many things I don't like doing for my kids, but it's not about me today, Paul. It's not at all.
No, we got a very special guest in the, I don't want to call it the dad den. I want to call it like the
dad dungeon.
the sex dungeon. There are a bunch of sex swings.
That's why I'm
on the
wearing
other
these
side.
pants you gave me.
That's awkward. We've got a very special guest. He's in my industry.
Yeah.
He's on the financial side of my industry. He's a dad. He's a former hockey player. He's a mortgage whiz. He's a lot younger than I thought he was.
And he's got some great stories.
He's got great guys. If you are listening, first off, on any of the audio
Turn it louder.
platforms, turn it up just a little bit because Carson likes to keep my mic lower than his for some reason. I've noticed.
It's a general problem I have.
It is. It's fine. It is what it is. But if you're listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, any of that fun stuff, make sure you go and give us a 5-star rating because you can win something off the wall. And you said you wanted to do it last time. We're going to do it now.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe to our channel. We actually have, I think, like 96% unsubscribed viewers.
And that's not a good ratio.
It's not a good ratio, but we do have a lot of returning. The guys who are returning for Daniel's feet, thank you. We appreciate you. And if you like his socks today, smash that like button. Hit the bell so you know when we upload, and comment if you like his socks.
They're Nikes.
No, Nike, you owe us $15,000
It's
now.
not about my socks, so
It's not.
give him what he deserves.
Give him what he deserves. Just give the people what they want. And they want Mr. Johnson Andrews.
Hello.
Welcome to the Dad Collective.
Thank you for having me. I had to give myself a clap. I had to
You
make
did.
a big drive up here today, but
Dude,
You
more than
deserve
worth
a
it.
clap for
More
that
than worth
drive.
it.
you do. I felt bad because I was just like, wait, he's coming from like Niagara, St. Catharines.
Where
like,
is that, right?
it's not here in the
It's
city.
not the GTA. You don't know it.
It's not. It's the. I don't even know if it's the mega city.
Some might even call it irrelevant in Toronto.
It's out there, and you came in rush hour.
Yeah, well, it was meant to be like an hour and a half drive turned into like,
like-
3.5 hours.
It was a 4-day journey.
It would have been
Here.
just like the flying home from Florida with my 2 kids by myself.
Yeah,
Right?
which
So
we're-
I could have done
That's
that
not
again.
bad, yeah.
I could have done it again. This was a little bit more peaceful because it was just me listening to your podcast
Listening
on
to
the
the
way up here.
podcast. He's like, "What are these assholes talking about?
What am I even
getting
stepping into?
What am I getting into here?" So why don't you tell the viewers your shoe size, because that's what they care. No, I'm joking. What you do? Who are you? Just let everyone know.
Well, I'm Johnson. I am a size 11 shoe.
Nice.
I'm a mortgage agent. I'm also a father, and you know what? Just trying to learn as I go when it comes to this. And
Yeah.
I think with us tonight, we're gonna have some good conversations. Go over
got
some
some
fun
stories.
things, and
But
hopefully
give us-
tell some good stories.
Give us the basics. So your dad, obviously, that's why we invited you here.
Yep.
Besides all your great stories, how many
technically-
kids you got? How old are they? What are their names? Because I felt like last time we had a dad on, we didn't ask that question till later into it. And we're like him, it, that. So what are the names?
That's what I call them as well.
Okay, so
That's actually their names. Him and it.
So I have 2 children, beautiful children. You guys can go check them out on my Instagram. I like to show them off because if you look at my Instagram and you see my kids, you know that they need to get fed. So you're hopefully going to do your mortgage with me.
I like that psychological warfare.
Right? No, but
Teach me, I'm poor.
but no, my kids are Aston is my son. He's turning 4 in September, and then my daughter's name is Aiden. She turns 2 in September.
Double A.
Double A.
Did you play triple A? What did you play?
I did play AAA, and I also am in AA. So
Oh!
a little bit of both right
we're gonna
there.
touching
right?
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We
You're
can-
just
we
diving
can
right
maybe,
into
we can
it.
maybe
man.
take that out, but that was like I saw the double entendre.
No, I like it. No,
maybe it's
we-
forecasting
we
my
don't
future.
take-
Maybe it's forecasting my future when they're
Paul's
born.
not good with letters, so don't worry. That will go right over.
That's
his
like
head.
midway in the alphabet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you're
cool.
screwed.
So you're technically a single dad.
Technically a single dad. I am dating. I do have a fantastic girlfriend who's very, very supportive. But I'm learning as I go. She's been good at helping me where I need in terms of learning the single dad life. of
Yeah.
Maybe changing a diaper.
Okay.
right?
See, he was like
Yeah.
He was like you.
me.
Yeah.
I've only changed 4 diapers now.
Yeah, and then so I've done a handful at least, right? And so when it comes back to it, the single dad thing, I think that's something that I can maybe touch on a little bit.
Yeah.
tonight.
So how long has that been going on for?
but going on a year.
Okay.
So it's pretty fresh.
It's pretty
You
fresh.
could call it fresh.
Is
yeah.
the wound
and-
still
and-
open? Should we pour some salt on that wound right now?
Do you know what? My ex and I do have a better relationship now, I would say, than what we did when we were together.
You know what? I hear that's common though.
And I think it's because of the fact that for her and I, it was always, we were friends first. We were together a very long time. We were together 8 years.
Wow.
And it was one of those things in which that our relationship, the way it was going,
Yeah.
would have maybe eventually led to a time in which that if we parted ways, we weren't going to be able to get along.
Yeah.
And then so it's almost, we can do it now and still be friends and, still raise our kids.
save what's still there.
Right. And then so I think in terms of with the single dad type thing, I'm really not doing it alone.
That's awesome.
Aaron, my ex, or their mom, maybe we cut that out. I don't know if she wants her name in there. But we have some great stories about her later. But no, their mom, she lives 1 street over from me.
Okay, that's good.
My parents are 15 minutes away. My sister lives 10 minutes away. And my
Does
girl,
your sister have kids too?
she does, yeah. So I'm also an uncle. My sister does have a 1-year-old. So,
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's kids everywhere.
So you got to help her. Less
gotta
than
help
her
her.
helping you.
You're
No,
gonna show
no,
her the ropes.
No, I don't think so because I'm just.
I don't think so.
I'm just learning the ropes, and I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing for me, which is within this whole separation and everything I've been going through. I've actually become a dad.
Yeah.
a little bit.
So what was it?
Yeah, you
what
get
was
thrown
it?
more into the flames, right? When
Yeah.
you're kind of manning it on your own.
Yeah.
On certain days, right?
On certain days.
So what was it like before that? You didn't feel like you were being a dad, or
I don't even think I realized I was one until.
I was just surprised. Oh,
Yeah.
who's it? You
Yeah,
just thought it was
who-
like a random little child sitting in your place?
Well, no. So it's like.
Those are my SpaghettiOs.
So the way that I would say that my last relationship worked,
Yeah.
it was it was old school. You could call it like gender roles.
Okay.
almost,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where I worked, and then their mom, she was a fantastic homemaker.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We were fortunate enough that when the kids were born, she wanted to be a mom, and we could do that. And so, to me, I thought that my role in being a father was provide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Provide like financially.
provide financially.
Okay.
And realistically, I could do that, but I think I went too far into that.
It's
You just gave them too much.
It's
You were just
interesting, though.
throwing
No,
money
not even
at
just
your
throwing
kids.
money. Just it's like almost in my head, I was like, I have to work.
Yeah.
because that's what I'm good
and
for.
that's what I feel like. I mean, a lot of dads probably feel that. Like
Yeah.
you said, like obviously gender roles have evolved and changed, and they're different in everybody's family. But that probably is a common pressure, regardless of whether you're together or not together, that dads think about is that's a part of taking care of your kid is obviously providing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so like for me, I would justify all the work that I was doing and saying like, oh, I'm doing it for my family,
Paul, take
right?
notes.
And all that side of it. But as I've gone through therapy and tried to figure out my brain a little bit more, no, I was really kind of doing it for myself and my own ego because I was pursuing my own career and I liked the idea of having the stay-at-home mom. Like, that I could create that, right?
Yeah.
And so I really was on the side of our house, you take care of it, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Now, as a single father, although I do have a ton of support.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that's clear. I have so much support and I'm so thankful for all of it.
Yeah. But by definition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then so when I'm looking at that with my kids now, I am there with
what do
them.
they call it now? Actually, do they call it like co-parenting?
It's called co-parenting's a thing.
Co-parenting. But
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, that's what I would call it.
Okay,
Yeah. Co-parenting. But again, my girlfriend's amazing as well in terms of helping me. But now with the kids, I am there with the kids.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Before, bad to say, and I'm hard on myself for this because I did miss a lot.
Yeah.
I'd be like omnipresent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
So we'd be sitting here, but if an email came through, a phone call was made, I'm taking the call.
Yeah.
Right?
And me and Paul were just talking
We
about this.
literally just
like
talked
last
about it.
episode was like what makes a good dad, and being present was one of our big, checklists of like a great dad. And it's not, again, there's dads out there who have to work either 2 jobs or many hours to provide. But when you are there, how do you get your mind to be present and not thinking about that?
Yeah, that's the most important thing, especially like with jobs like ours, all of us in this room. Like it doesn't stop at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's
we're
not
not
like you
employed
punch
by,
your
like,
time.
somebody.
You go, you do your time card, you slide down your brontosaurus,
Those
and,
are- and then you're out the door.
and then you're out the door,
And
right?
then I think that's the biggest thing that I've noticed, that now I do have a really good relationship with my son, and who's older, but I know throughout the first couple of years of his life, as much as I was his father, I was not there to like I was there, but
you were
I
his
wasn't,
father, but you weren't his dad.
Yeah,
and that's what we were just talking about.
There we go. And then, but so with my daughter who's younger, it's like her and I's relationship is so much stronger at her age than what it was with my son.
for
Wait
sure.
a second. So you're saying you have a favorite?
No, there's a relationship.
Okay, so this is also a point of contention, right? within my
With the
previous,
kids?
within my previous relationship, because I would always like to make the joke that I was going to have rankings every week.
Yeah.
Of who is my favorite? This
Everyone
week.
makes that joke, and there are favorites
kinda
on a
like
weekly.
Squid
But
on a
Game.
weekly
it's like the
basis.
Deion
Yeah,
Sanders is the one person I've ever seen that actually does that.
Yeah.
he has. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't promote it
30
to the
kids.
kids.
No, he
but-
does. He does.
Yeah, well,
he puts it on his Twitter. He puts it on his Twitter to a million people.
Did you guys see the Iron Claw movie? Did you see
No.
Iron Claw with Zac Efron, the wrestling movie? It's like a true story.
No, I haven't watched
So the
it.
dad is like, they're all pro wrestlers.
Yeah, I know, I
And
know
at the
the
dinner
story.
table, he's like, you're my favorite, but like you have the potential if you do this. Just like
Yeah.
laying it out there. Like
We-
healthy competition,
We
guys.
make that joke sometimes, and again, it depends on their age, and they can understand
So,
the
like,
joke, right?
yeah.
I'm sure, in that situation,
You know
his
who
kids
my
are
favorite
older.
kid is? Asher. Because there's only one and it's
Well, I'm going to tell you.
easy.
I'm going to tell your ugly dog then.
Hey, I will
your
I
dog is not
swear.
his favorite anymore.
And Brooklyn's a girl, first off.
What? So I said ugly dog. I didn't give it a gender.
Oh, sorry, guys.
That was your mistake. But you know what? When you said something, it kind of sparked an idea in my mind, and it's a good lesson. Is that
So,
You said that in
sorry, I
so-
had to interrupt. I am in the middle of work, so I might pick up my phone a couple of times. I
that's okay.
apologize.
I'll get this out and don't talk in the camera. It'll be on me.
Paul is omnipresent. Right?
Yeah, he's not, exactly. He's not really with us, which is why he's not our dad.
You're not my real dad.
It's a lesson that you've learned when you guys separated or now getting divorced. That I think of it from like my kid's perspective. My daughter's starting to get homework now. She's grade 8.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do the easy thing and do her homework for her or kind of give her the answers,
She would fail out of school.
No, she would do well in school, but forget that. She wouldn't learn the skills to do it on her own. And that's essentially what happened
Yeah.
with you as like a father, is that like you had this great support at home who was taking care of those things. And you didn't really learn a lot of those skills until you were thrown into the fire.
and that
right?
was-
Same lesson.
100%. Like
Yeah.
I straight up refused.
Yeah.
Like I, honest to goodness, couldn't cook.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't boil water.
And now
Did you,
what do you love to cook?
Oh, I've turned into a chef. I love it now. It's like the one thing that calms me down.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it's like realistically, the kids, now I know what they like to eat.
Chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Macaroni.
You know, I still have to make sure
Cereal.
that they're eating healthy.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
No.
Oh fuck. I'm
Paul's
fucked.
strict.
But I remember like going back to even that as an example.
Yeah.
When I first started taking care of the kids on my own, my daughter, I never had her on my own.
Yeah.
for until we were separated.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And I took them to my parents for the first couple of times that happened because I just was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom asked me like, "What is Aiden like at this time of the day?" And I literally started.
didn't know.
I literally started to cry because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's something that like I will never forget it. And it's something in which that makes me now make sure that I always am paying more attention to it. And I feel so much more fulfilled everywhere.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, and we always say that like it's never too late to recognize where you need to improve as like a father.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you did it actually quite early. Like some
That's
people
great,
go
yeah.
like 10 years before they
Exactly.
recognize that the importance of the things that you're talking about. So
Yeah, like was there
recognizing is important.
a time where you thought like you wouldn't even have them in your life with the split happening? Was that on the table,
No.
or you knew you wanted to step up?
I knew I would they would always be in my
Okay.
life.
Did you want to have kids? Like, was this always part of your life plan? Because for me personally, like I am older, I'm 76 years old. It was never on the radar until I met Jess, and then we planned on later. It kind of happened because when a man loves a woman, sometimes he.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah,
gets fur in places he never saw fur before.
oh, it's weird. There's no fur. Come on now.
Simpsons.
Oh man, The Simpsons. I hate The Simpsons. We talked about this.
still
But yeah,
referencing
was having kids like part of your life plan? Because you were a hockey bro.
Yeah, I would say that it was.
Okay.
I would say the timing of which that it happened was sooner than I expected.
Because you had what, 29, 28?
Yeah. So I'm.
But how long into your marriage were you?
Okay, so Aaron and I were never actually married. We were
Oh.
always common law.
Common law.
Got it. Okay.
But so we'd been together since university. So it would have been 3-4 years.
Brock?
Right?
Got it.
Yeah, Brock.
to Brock?
Yeah, walk and talk. Did my undergrad and then I did my undergrad and then did my
I remember
master's
that
there,
phrase.
right?
Yeah.
But so Aaron and I were deeper into our relationship. We had already purchased a condo, and it was one of those things in which that Aston, our son, hopefully it's
How do you spell his name? ASTON?
ASDON.
the car?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, middle name is not Martin. No middle name.
No middle name?
Either of my kids.
Oh, wow.
So Aston and
Was that a
Aiden.
conscious decision on both your parts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? What was the motivation there? Just
Because
fuck it?
Because for me, I didn't want to because his name's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I didn't want his middle
You
name.
didn't want him to get a nickname on his middle name.
Well, I didn't want him to go. So his middle name would have been Brian.
So
His-
AB.
AB.
What up, AB?
But so no, but I didn't want him, when he got older.
fuck.
I didn't want him, this is me being a control freak.
Yeah.
Probably why I'm good in work. Sometimes I'm bad in relationships.
Yeah.
But I didn't want him when he was older, if he didn't like his name, to have another option.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're like, you're stuck with this. I
And
made
so
the
then,
decision.
and then when your daughter came around, you just followed suit.
Correct. And then so the other side of it too is like, to me, with a middle name, typically it goes to either one of your parents or one of your grandparents.
Yeah.
That's a very hard thing to do when I have a father, I have a grandfather. Aaron had a father. and
Yeah, yeah,
grandfather.
Oh, who do you choose?
Who do you choose?
I know how.
Well,
you
yeah.
put them in a ring, you make them fight to the death. And
Oh,
there's only one.
I thought you
One's
were
a-
just going to say the man gets to choose. No,
One's
no, we're
one's
not
already dead.
sexist here.
it's a joke. It's a joke.
on,
I'm
yeah.
going to get
Andrew
canceled.
canceled.
I'm going to get. Please cut this.
And we're done. Thanks for joining us. No, we
Please
said
cut
a
this
lot
out. Please cut
worse
this
things.
out.
Okay, fine. So Paul asked you, did you want to have kids? You said yes. I heard there's some interesting stories about how the kids came to be.
Okay. Yeah.
So
well,
I think
what happens
we're
is
20 minutes in. I'm ready for this first part.
Okay. So my son Aston, he was born during COVID.
2020 what? Because COVID lasted a while. Was it like
2020?
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
September 2020.
But now that you're part of his life in a
Yeah.
bigger way, you know that. So that's good.
Yeah. So normal birth, but it was like he was 24 hours. Okay. So it was
Yeah.
just Aaron and I in the labor and delivery room.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, one of my best friends, his now wife, was the nurse that delivered him. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they live one street over.
That's
from,
so funny.
Yeah. So if you were to think about it, I live on my street.
Yeah.
Aaron lives on actually Johnson Street. Like you can't get away from me.
Got it, yeah.
like quite literally, it's one street over.
Fully
and
connected.
then the woman who delivered Aston lives the next street over. But
That's
so
crazy.
that's a small world type thing in
Yeah.
which that
I mean,
happens.
that's St. Catharines. This
Yeah.
is under like three
no,
streets
this was
anyways.
in Toronto. This
Oh,
was at
it's-
Sinai.
okay.
This is when I was living in Toronto. But
Oh, okay, fine,
But so
fine.
when Aston was born, it was a longer birth, like 24-hour birth, and is realistically uneventful throughout most of it.
Yeah, it's awful.
But and I think I read a book throughout.
Yeah.
Right. But so
Not pushing though, not active labor for 24 hours. Like something happened and
and we just sat there for 24
Yeah.
hours, right? But so I was very much behind the scenes, not involved, above the shoulder type of guy.
Yeah, I was
Right.
that too.
Yeah. And so didn't want to see anything down there. Just wasn't interested. Just-
Yeah, because you don't want to ruin the magic.
Yeah. Bring him to me when he's here, please. right?
Exactly. I wasn't very emotional with
so-
that either. I'm like, I don't gain anything from being down there.
Right. And then so fast forward a couple of years to when my daughter Aiden was born, and I was in the trenches literally. So at the time, Aaron and I were in the midst of a move.
Yeah.
So we had sold a house August 28th, and our new house that we had bought around the corner was closing on the 15th of September.
Okay.
Okay. So we kind of had it backwards, but it's just the way it worked out in terms of when we were trying to sell our place.
Yeah.
So we had moved in with Aston to my parents' house, and we're living in the basement.
And where do they live also?
20
up there?
minutes away, Niagara on the Lake.
Okay, yeah.
So in between all this, so this would have been September 7th. That's my day my daughter is born. Little foreshadowing.
And my anniversary, just so you know.
Really?
September 7th is my anniversary. September 8th, my daughter was born. So just quick side note, my wife went into labor when we were out for our anniversary dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So September 7th, we are closing on a house in a week. Erin, you can see, is like, she's probably going to go early. So we had booked a showing to go see the new house just in case she had Aiden the next couple of days. We're all tied up.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that we saw it before the closing, right? So after we went and saw the house, we were driving back to my parents, and Erin started talking, saying that she has like tightenings. And I'm like, what the fuck? Tightening. I'm like, are you having contractions? She's like, no. And so at this time there was an epidural shortage.
Yeah.
So and
There was an epidural shortage during COVID? Or
this was 2 years. This has been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've had a baby before, they were saying you do not get an epidural. Right.
Really?
Yeah. And going back to like the first birth, Erin, they need to get a blood patch.
Do you think C-sections rose during that time? Because
I don't know. I didn't
feel like
look into
probably.
it. Yeah. And that actually just brought me back to when my son was born, because Erin would have had an epidural and they missed.
Yeah. They missed on Jamie as well, my wife as well.
Yeah, so they missed, and so she had the worst migraines for the next couple days.
Yeah. So did they miss, or they pierced the?
Yeah.
So they pierced it. So same thing. They have, and then they have to do a cloth.
They have to do a
put
blood
in
patch.
it. Blood patch.
So, but we didn't know what was going on, right?
It's horrible, apparently, that
horrible
migraine.
pain.
Yeah,
Like you
she
just
was,
have to
like,
lay
crying.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would have been 1 or 2 days after Aston was born. Erin had to go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
To get the blood patch, right?
And Aston was good health, all that good stuff.
He was perfect.
Jaundice, none of that shit.
Yeah, he was fine.
Okay.
Right? So we're out of the hospital. We go home. She has to go back. So me, Aston, Erin are walking back into the hospital. We're like, where do you think you're going? To me and him.
Yeah.
Right. We're like, what do you mean?
I
Like,
can't leave her. I have no idea what to do with this.
It's COVID.
Yeah.
Like you cannot come in here.
Yeah.
Right. So Erin had to go in overnight to get the blood patch, and I'm sitting there with a 3-day-old. No clue what to do, because going back to it, I was a workaholic, didn't really pay attention.
And I'm sure she might have been, or potentially breastfeeding, and that was
we had nothing prepared for this, because we thought we were all going in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my god.
So then I'm sitting there with my son Aston, and I didn't go to one of the classes. I'm not saying that proudly. That's what it was. And I'm petrified, because I'm now watching this baby, and I have no idea what to do with a baby, right? So so there's always been something that happened within either Aston being born or my daughter Aiden.
Yeah.
But going back to Aiden, Erin was very hesitant about not wanting to go to the hospital too soon.
Yeah.
Because of the 24-hour birth with Aston. Okay, where we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So she was.
That wasn't an enjoyable period. It was just like
you were just
wanted
there
out,
doing
right? It's
nothing,
like waiting for a plane. You can wait at home as long as you want, but if you get to the airport and they delay you, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and then so that's the part in which that it's like, okay, I can understand that. So realistically, I was like, you need to call the midwife.
Yeah.
Again, there's a midwife, but the plan is to birth the baby in the hospital.
Yeah.
She tells them how far apart the contractions are. They're long, so they're like, "Oh, we'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
So we get back to my parents. Erin goes to lay down. She's just knows that she's going to be giving birth soon, but there's no epidural, so she's trying to get mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
And go as far as possible.
Yeah, and then my parents, they put Aston to bed upstairs in their room. Yeah, just because we're figuring we're gonna have to go to the hospital at some.
You don't want to wake them up.
Right?
You don't want to disturb them.
Correct. So this is around 8:30. Aaron's just says, I'm gonna go take a shower. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So go jump in the shower. She comes out. what would it be? 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
Right. She's like,
It's a long shower.
Yeah, well,
It's a
she's,
long-
like, she's
that's
mentally
a long
preparing for
one.
labor, right? It's about, we got to get the.
Did you check in on her and she didn't
Of
pass
course,
out
of
within that
course, of
45
course.
minutes?
Of course, I was a caring person.
Okay, just making
Right?
sure. Listen, I might not. That time can fly quickly. You're like, holy shit, it's actually been 45 minutes.
I might have even took a nap just
Yeah.
so I could get mentally prepared. But so Erin comes out. She's like, my water broke. So it's 9:15. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the hospital, right? Let's call the So keep in mind for Aston's the 24-hour birth, her water broke 24 hours before.
Got it. So
Okay.
she still thought she had tons of time.
Tons of time. So call the midwife. How far apart are your contractions? Oh, 25 minutes. Okay, you have time. So
Yeah.
Erin's like, sweet, I'm going back in the shower, like just to chill.
Oh, that's
right?
true. And to wash off a bit.
Yeah. So Erin's like, I'm going back in the shower. So I would say about 5 minutes later, I'm just sitting out watching TV. I just hear like a jaunt, and I walk into the bathroom, and Erin is in labor. Like,
And what does that look like? What do you mean she's in labor? What does that look? What do you visually see? You don't need to
she's
go into
standing-
super details, but like
she-
she's
No,
lying down.
I want super detail.
No,
I want to know
that-
what you
well, I've already-
smelled. I want to know
No, I don't-
everything.
Smelled.
So,
I don't know. I scratch and sniff
so
stuff.
Erin's in labor. We'll
Yeah.
just say that she's standing in the shower.
Physically in labor.
She's physically in labor, standing in the shower, and then so she's physically in labor. I'm just remembering.
Was it the baby's hand out? Like, is
Not
that-
yet. No,
It's like
so,
Ring when it's crawling the
So-
grudge when they're crawling out the TV.
so
Yeah.
not yet. So I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't know if we can swear, but I've.
Oh,
We
you-
swear,
you-
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No cussing, Johnson.
I think I've sworn a lot, and I've just
It's
noticed
fine.
at that time. But so I'm like, holy shit. So I go to call 911.
Yeah.
Right. And Erin's like, call my midwife. So I have her phone, my phone going at the same
Where are your
time.
parents having at this point?
They're upstairs asleep with.
They're passed out.
They're putting my son to sleep.
Got
right?
it.
Okay.
So I have two phones going where one is the 911 operator, one is the midwife. Now again, looking back now, asshole move, but I wasn't there for any of the other stuff. So I
Yeah.
didn't know which one was the midwife, which one was the 911 operator. Okay.
Oh, I thought you. Well, it's the one.
But-
The
but-
one.
but
The
the
phone
one-
that says 911.
Yeah,
Like,
but there's
don't
a
the
lot-
phones have digital screens on them that tell you what number you
But
dialed?
like
No,
in my
I-
head, I'm just like, what do I need to grab? What do I got to do?
Wait. Are you were in St. Catharines at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is at the house.
Do you guys have internet yet?
Oh yeah, there's internet. Don't worry. But
That,
the
oh yeah,
hospital-
that could have been it.
But the hospital is 30 minutes away from my parents.
By
Yeah,
horse
by-
and buggy.
No, but I had a nice car at the time, and I really didn't want to get in this nice car. But so I'm like, let's go.
we
to,
took the trolley to the hospital.
right, but I'm like, let's go to the hospital right now, right?
Yeah, get in. And
Get
start
in the
moving.
car. Let's go.
We're fucking going.
Yeah.
And then they're on the phone. They're like, you do not have time to go to that hospital.
Really?
So, yeah.
What,
See, I would see that
hold
as a
on.
challenge.
Hold on,
Yeah.
back it up for 1 second. I want to know. I know that you didn't get into the detail of like how she or what it looked like labor, but like how did the 911 attendant or the midwife give you the advice knowing that she didn't have that time? What symptoms
We-
were you telling them that was happening?
Aaron couldn't move. She was trying to come out, and then
so
eventually
she was like physically
was holding the walls, and then when we were trying to move, it's like, nope, that's not happening. And then she
so
started.
she's going through something that you can't even put
her
your
contractions
brain
are
on.
they're,
So you-
they're minutes apart at this point, and she's.
Oh my God.
This is
Yeah.
terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Wow.
And then she sure shit she starts to crown, right? Like
What does that mean?
Holy crap.
means the head's coming out.
So we had a C-section. So I
Oh, you
don't.
don't. But you've heard the term crowning.
So you start seeing a head, right?
Only in Game of Thrones.
I was literally trying to think of something funny to say. I got
But you
nothing.
got nothing.
I got
Okay,
nothing.
fine. So she's naked because she came out of the shower. I need the whole visual.
No, don't
She came out of the shower.
Yeah. No, we're still the shower water's still going down.
So you're by
we're
the shower.
chilling in the shower.
What kind of shower is it?
It's a walk-in corner one. Like
Okay, so no top. She's not stepping over.
No.
Okay, I need I want to picture this.
Okay, now
Hold on. And the vent is on, so you hear the sound.
but then the shower is one of those ones in which that it's like a circular, it's like an oval one.
Like the slide in.
Yeah. So where you open it, and I had broken the door on it. Like
So she's locked in there.
she's not locked in. There's a curtain. There's a makeshift curtain because I had just broken the door. It shattered all the glass like 2 days earlier.
Oh my God.
So she's
It's like fucking the Kool-Aid man here.
Yeah, smash it through. Oh yeah,
so we're not going to the hospital.
Okay.
because they told you no.
They said no.
modern-
At this point, are
medicine's
you
not a
going
thing.
upstairs to wake your parents up?
No, not yet. Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't want to leave because I'm like, what?
How
like,
are they not hearing this?
Aaron is
calm and cool.
a trooper.
She was chill. So you were freaking out. She was
Yes.
just like, yo, chill.
Yes.
Chill.
Yes.
Were you loud in volume?
I'm like, what the I don't know what to do. I'm
or were
running
you
around.
quiet and shutting
Wait.
down?
Were you also naked?
No.
So you weren't in the shower?
No, he
No.
wasn't in the shower.
Oh, okay.
I
So you
walked
guys
into
were-
the room.
What were you wearing?
Shorts and a t-shirt.
Okay, perfect.
What
Go on.
socks? The
I'm
audience
really
wants to know
liking
what
this.
kind of socks you
It's
were
funny.
wearing.
His socks, quick side note, are like a combination of like me and you. They're like the ankle socks, no shows with cool patterns.
And then
so it's like
they're actually
the best of
they're
all
my
worlds.
girlfriends. I like to steal them, but apparently the cool kids these days they don't wear ankle socks anymore.
yeah,
That's
they
how-
don't,
yeah.
and they don't wear patterns as
Dude,
much.
I still wear skinny jeans.
Yeah.
I'm not a cool
Don't talk
kid.
to Paul.
No,
being
but I
cool.
saw that you were wearing the same socks that I like to wear
only
like
wear-
I like to wear the ones like the ballerina ones that really go
So
up
I
there.
find that
these
they
are
give blisters.
No, so these are Van socks.
The Van songs suck.
They're the best.
I hate
I literally have 50 pairs, and they
If they
never
were
fall
that
off.
good, you'd only need one pair. Okay, so the baby's crowning.
No, the baby's not crowning. His ex-wife is crowning.
The baby's the baby's
baby's coming out.
crowning.
Baby's
She's
coming out.
crowning, but the baby's crowning.
But
It's a
who
crown on the
technically-
head.
Yeah,
Is it
so
it's a chicken or the egg.
No, it's not. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
A crown is worn on the head.
yes.
This is not her head. It's on the baby's head. So the baby
So the
is
vagina is
crowning.
the crown.
The vagina is the crown.
Yeah, that's right. Put it on a pedestal.
Shit, son.
Shit. Snap.
Okay, so
Snap.
she's standing there crowning. Next, what
Okay,
happens?
Next. So this goes back to the phone thing where
Oh yeah, because you have two phones.
I have two phones.
Why'd you just put them both on speaker and talk to
they
both of
they
them?
were both on speaker.
Okay, go on.
But so
So they're talking to each other.
they're talking to each other.
No
talking,
way.
So they're talking at me. So this goes back to me not knowing who I'm talking to because I'm freaking out.
Okay, now I get it.
So then all I hear is someone saying, "You're gonna need to go get scissors and shoestring."
What are you making?
This is what
a phone?
happens in St. Catherine's. Get scissors, so you're going to attach it to the back of your car. You're going to get hit 72 miles an hour.
Listen.
Would you happen to have a bag of leeches anywhere?
Where's the clock tower?
Then someone else says something, and then Aaron's like, "Don't listen to that person. They're a fucking idiot." I'll never.
Aaron said this?
Yeah.
But smart lady, do not use scissors or...
No. There's two things that I
You
forget.
need scissors for the umbilical cord.
Yeah, but I forget what the other
You
person
cut it?
said. I forget what the other person said, but she said, "Don't listen to that person. They're a fucking idiot." So I didn't know which one I was
said
supposed
it?
to. I didn't know which one I was supposed to listen to because I never spoke to the midwife.
So it could have been the 911 person saying not to
It was the
listen.
911 person saying that. She's saying, she's saying, "Don't listen to that person."
What was the advice? Do you remember? What was given?
I forget the second one, but
Okay.
I went with the scissors and shoestring.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, so Aaron starts to finish a contraction. So like, okay, I have like 1 minute, right, to go get the scissors and shoestring. So I go tearing upstairs at my parents' house, running around looking for
yeah,
scissors.
where do you find shoestring? I know scissors are...
Okay, so sorry, guys. Rule number 1, please don't run with scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
That-
didn't have them yet. He's running to
Okay,
look for
you
them.
can run if you don't have the scissors yet.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Once you
we
collect
don't want a
them.
lawsuit.
Go ahead.
So I just go and for some reason or another, I knew I had a fresh pair of shoelaces.
Yeah. I'm not
Got some
taking
new
these off
Air
my
Force
Nikes.
Ones.
No, they were still in the wrapper. But I'm running around. I'm like, "Mom, I need scissors," right? Then I hear Aaron yell in the basement, right? I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta go back downstairs." So my mom, I hear her coming down behind me, and my mom, the best person you're ever gonna meet. She used to be a nurse, right?
Oh, that should have been.
Why did you
that
go to
should
her
have been the first
I know.
fucking move.
I know, but I was lost.
What is happening?
And then so in my head, though, as we're talking about this on a pod,
my mom's an OBGYN delivery
Man,
doctor.
it's like, I wish you guys were sitting in my head because like, I'm just like, can you imagine he had like those comically large scissors?
I'm
and he's running around the
I'm thinking of like
house.
Three Stooges shit happening in the background.
It's like, oh, my mom's actually an OBGYN.
Okay,
but then
so
it's
hold
even
on.
better because you actually know me when it comes to work and stuff like that. I'm
Yes.
usually like very calm and like really,
Yes.
and I know what I'm doing. This very lost.
So
guys.
what happened? She grabbed the scissors.
So I grabbed the scissors. My mom's falling down behind me. But so for me, I'm thinking this is a compromising scenario that Aaron's in right now.
Yes.
So I'm telling my mom, stay the fuck out, right?
No. She's
go,
naked.
Oh yeah, because Aaron's naked giving birth. So I'm like,
But it's her mother-in-law essentially.
yeah, but so I
But she's a nurse. She
right.
can provide
so,
assistance.
so my mom's sitting outside the stairs. We're
Yelling
still trying
through
to
the
do,
door. Oh my god.
At least got a-
So this is
Oh
how
my
I was thinking.
God.
So then I walk back in. When I walk back in, my daughter's head is out. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So my daughter's head is out. Now, if we go back to when my son was born,
Yeah.
above the shoulders guy.
Yeah.
Didn't see nothing.
You didn't even know what it would look like.
No. So I didn't know that babies don't breathe until
Yes.
they're okay.
The 911 operator didn't tell you that?
Well, I'm not hearing anything.
Okay,
from this
Yeah,
guy,
there's
right?
dude.
I was just told don't listen to any of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm focused. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'm really dialed in here. And then so I'm holding my daughter's head.
Yeah, and there's no life.
There's nothing live.
Yeah.
And she is purple.
Yeah, my kids are purple too.
Because and particularly when they're born that fast, I know this now. They don't have as much blood, oxygen. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but they're purple. I know that they're purple.
Yeah.
So
Asher wasn't purple.
It's not always Asher was C-section too,
Yeah,
but
so
like
he-
Joey was purple. Like it looked like she delivered knock on wood,
like
a
I'm
baby.
talking like the
Yeah,
short.
That's terrible.
I
I
had
would
one
shit
of my
my
kids
pants.
like that too. It was my first kid too. My first kid. It's scary.
Yeah. So
Especially if you're fucking delivering that baby
Yeah,
and you don't
so
have
I'm
doctors.
holding-
With shoestring and scissors.
yeah, I'm holding her head, and then so I'm holding her head, and I remember because sometimes like my facial expressions, you can tell what I'm thinking very quickly.
You're like
Yeah, yeah.
freaking Sean from The Good Doctor.
like if I get like a bad email, a bad text, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
you
people,
visibly change.
Yeah, and then a lot of the times it's for work. Like it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Right? So when Aston was born, because it was ongoing so long, even throughout the day, if I got text messages, I'd be like, oh shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So Erin had told me prior to going to think we were going to the hospital, she's like, if you get a bad text message, a bad phone call, you get the fuck out of the room.
Yeah.
I don't want you.
I don't want to deal with this.
I don't want you in there. And then so now I'm sitting there, I'm holding
the
Aiden.
moment where like saying "oh fuck" would make sense.
Yes.
you can't do it.
I can't do it. So I'm just holding my daughter's. I'm holding my daughter's head. She's not breathing. She's purple. I think she's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
That's terrifying.
Very much so. So I'm sitting there holding her head. Then at that point I go, Mom. Right. So then my
in.
mom comes in. So my mom, being the nurse, she's rolling her sleeves up, ready to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so also sidebar. If you are in a situation where you are delivering your own baby and anyone in the house is a nurse, a vet, a veterinarian, literally
Butcher.
binge watches Grey's Anatomy, have them
Join.
join you in this situation.
Yeah. And then so
Disclaimer.
that would have done away with a lot of the stress that I was going through.
I would fucking say so.
So
All right, so she comes in,
my mom
rolling her
comes in,
sleeves
rolls
up.
up her sleeves.
Still shoulders are in.
I leave the room, shoulders are in. Okay. So I leave the room for a second, and then I realize no one, like, so I go outside, I'm sitting on the stairs, I'm kind of crying.
Where's this all happening? On a bed?
No, in the shower.
Oh, you're still in the shower.
Haven't moved.
Did you turn the water off?
No, Aaron, the water was on the whole time. The water bill
By
is
choice.
the water bill
It was a $5,000 baby.
water bill is stupidly high.
All right, so
Thank you,
she's
Mom
in
and Dad.
there. Okay, the shower's nice. That's a good.
Yeah, it's calming.
Okay.
So I leave the room. I go to sit down on the stairs, like right outside the basement, like into that bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought my daughter was passed away.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm devastated, but I know that I can't show that.
Yeah.
Because I want Aaron to be okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like in the
Yeah.
I gotta know how that works because again.
Yeah, for something so, I mean, I can imagine. I've never, luckily, knock on wood, never been through anything like that. I can imagine if that trauma were to happen, you would share in each other's grief, and you wouldn't have to be that macho strong guy.
But I'm in my head. I don't know if that anything could happen to her still during the birth.
Oh, she would die
got
too.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to make sure it's like okay. Let's just
You
get-
went down a dark road.
Yeah,
after you
it's
left
just
that
like-
room.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, I'm gonna freaking, I'm done. I'm done.
But so I step in the room, but then I'm sitting there and I'm like, it was only about a 30-second of darkness.
And it
but,
feels like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and you have all these scenarios. You live a whole other life.
but I realize no one else is freaking out,
Yeah.
particularly on the phone or my mom.
Yep. So you get that comfort.
I get the comfort of this might be what it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And then so I kind of come back in, and then so I hear the midwife on the phone. She's like telling my mom, okay, so grab beneath the shoulders.
Yeah.
And just pull her out.
Yeah.
My mom's like, I can't find the shoulders. And then at that point, I'm still kind of reeling. I'm like, this baby's got no fucking shoulders. Right.
My baby was born with no shoulders.
So I lost it. Like I actually said that out loud.
Oh my.
So I'm like, this is not normal how fast this child is coming. Like there has
just a stick with a head,
that's what,
Like little stick fingers.
that's what I was thinking.
which is totally okay too.
You
Which is just-
sleep with a tree? Tell me if you slept with a tree.
so
We're making light of a very dark moment or memory that luckily turned out to be fantastic.
But because it turned out to be fantastic,
Well, you
and
can do
and my
this now.
daughter might be the most beautiful girl you'll ever see in your life.
with
right?
two shoulders.
With two shoulders.
She's got two whole shoulders.
Fully
guys.
functional.
She can.
Okay, so hold on. I need to hear the end
Okay,
because I
so-
need to hear two things. And
Yeah.
if you don't mention these two things, I'm gonna
You can ask.
I'm gonna follow up.
Yeah,
But
'cause we've already gone far
shoulders
enough.
can't find them next.
Shoulders can't find them. Oops, found them. Got him. Pull,
Yeah.
pull her out. So she's born.
Yeah.
She starts to cry. As soon as she's born and starts to cry, ambulance shows up
Yeah.
and the midwife at the exact same time.
And that when you heard that first cry, did your heart just like
Yes.
whoa,
Yes.
like craziness?
Yes. But I still didn't necessarily know if everything
She'll
was
be
gonna
okay. That's right. There's a whole other.
Yeah. So that was the part where it's like, okay, because again, so no one else was freaking out about the no breathing thing.
Yeah.
I still didn't know that was normal.
Yeah.
Right. So then I hear her cry, and then so that's a relief. But then at the same time, it's still going through my head.
She can stop breathing again.
Yeah, or she could stop breathing, or is like again, Aaron's water broke at 9:15. I think Aiden was born at like 9:36.
That's crazy.
Like it was
How
like,
long did it feel though?
Oh, for not long.
Oh no.
Like it, like
It probably happened like a flash.
it happened like a flash, right? Like I think it was. If I remember,
Because when you're panicking, that's what happens. It doesn't seem
My
there's
whole
no-
life is panicking.
no more than more than 30
it's
minutes.
gone like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's fleeting.
So the nurse, so the midwife walks in,
Midwife
ambulance
wheels in,
walks
ambulance
in.
wheels in. Then they thankfully they came in with sterile scissors and the clamps that are
Not
necessary.
not comical.
No,
clowns.
hold on. So you didn't need to use the scissors.
Nope. So then I cut the umbilical cord, and then they did their thing, right?
Yeah,
And at this point, I'm like, holy shit, right? The baby's born,
yeah.
and then so I go upstairs, and just to get like my bearings, because now there's a ton of people in the basement.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple minutes, make sure everyone's good. I go upstairs. My dad walks. I'll never forget. The door's wide open, right? The front door. I look up the stairs, and my dad walks out, and he's
In
like
his robe.
just in his boxers, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "What's going on down there?" I'm like, "There's a fucking baby down there." Right? He's like,
She's
"What?"
got two shoulders, Dad.
He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right." So for real. My son is still asleep. At
All
this
right, bring
point,
me a
he's-
sandwich when you come up.
So-
Closes the door behind him.
So I go back downstairs, right? Because I don't know why I came up, but I go back downstairs. When I come back up about 10 minutes later, my dad, who's again, my mom and dad are the best, right?
Yeah.
But my dad's sitting there, and he has a glass of scotch like this big,
Like a triple.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
celebrating.
quad.
He's
He's celebrating,
celebrating.
but at the same time, he's like, "What just happened down there?"
And he's getting back to reality.
Getting back to reality. And so for me, this is when I was still drinking. I went up to it and I just chugged it.
Were you
Like,
so, were
But
you
you
sober?
deserve it at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, wait,
drinking
wait.
or not
Were
drinking.
you sober when this all happened?
No, he said no.
Oh, okay, so so sidebar. I literally just sold a place while you guys were doing that.
love it.
That
Congratulations.
story. Boom.
Hey,
Hard as fuck.
high fives for everyone.
Hardest job in the world.
Just
Closing deals during podcasts.
But okay, so you weren't so like how in the is it in the bag?
Hold on,
How in
before-
the bag were you?
No, but don't tell me.
Wasn't.
I don't want to
Wasn't.
hear the drink thing
No, no,
first.
no.
I want to hear what was the string used for?
Yeah, what the fuck was
that's
the
what
string?
they wanted. So there was no clamps. So that's what I was
Oh,
trying to
you cut
Oh.
it. Cut with scissors, tie with string.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
go
wait,
out.
wait. Did you pay for the basement to get cleaned after?
It was all in the shower.
It was all in the shower.
never left the shower.
You still got
but
Residual goo?
goo.
I've never even told my parents this, but I went back there because so we moved the following week. I went back there. The placenta bag was still in the basement. The ambulance forgot to take it.
So what'd you do with it?
Threw it in the garbage.
Oh, it was sold at the-
Yeah, what do you do with it
Sell
a
it
week
on the
later?
black market.
I
Placentas aren't worth that much.
Yeah.
I threw it in the garbage. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Please don't air that.
I don't know. It's not illegal.
Wait, why?
It can't be illegal. I buried my son's circumcision in my front yard. It's kind of along those lines.
You buried
That's-
your son's penis in the front yard?
You're supposed to bury it in the Jewish religion. When you get a circumcision, you bury it on your property.
Really?
Yeah.
So half my penis, 3/4 of my penis
Yeah.
is
Mine-
buried
more than
somewhere.
My parents still have mine. It's in the basement in a book with my first haircut.
They
Yeah.
kept your foreskin?
People do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, my parents had my first haircut, but
Where's my? I don't even know where my birth
your
certificate
your
is.
parents didn't love you.
Fuck,
It's not your
man.
fault,
It's
man.
not-
It's not your fault.
Stop it.
So that's good. And how long was she at the hospital once she finally got there? Did they keep her longer than typical?
No hospital.
They didn't even take her to the hospital?
No.
They didn't check her?
The midwife did that at the house.
But like blood levels, because they have no idea how much she lost down the drain.
Huh?
right? Like
No hospital. So by 10
only in St. Catharines.
by 10 o'clock, I have a picture. My son is holding my daughter.
How old's your son?
Whoa.
He's 2 at the time.
And you can
10
hold-
o'clock that night.
Yes.
So the baby just stayed home. Did anyone stay with you for those days? Does the midwife move in? How does that work?
Nope.
She's only there for delivery.
Delivery came back the next day, and then 2 days later after that.
Why do they call them midwives?
I don't know.
Because they're
Like mid, if you're talking like
Not-
cool
it's
kids,
not Gen
they're
Z
like,
mid.
They're like not cool wives.
yeah, she's a midwife.
Yeah, she's just very average.
No, it's just I think it's a name that they gave from a long
a cute
time
kid.
ago.
What's her?
He'll throw a photo up here.
Yeah.
No. The email that I just got. From.
Oh,
All right, we'll be back after these messages.
awesome.
She's pumped. Sorry.
So hold on. Okay, so they kept you home, and that's nuts. Okay, so
That's it.
then
That's
here
it.
you are today.
Here I am today. I made it.
And she's perfectly healthy. She has 2 shoulders.
She's amazing. So it's very different with the way when my son was born versus the way my daughter was born.
Obviously, next time
Obviously.
lead with your second kid first.
No, but
that's the stronger story.
No, but I needed
not
to-
getting turned away during COVID. That's a
No
turnaround.
No, but I just wanted to preface it in the sense
That
that
was
to
a
make this
preface.
story the secondary story made more sense because I don't want anyone to think that we
Oh,
are
that's
trying
true.
to
Okay.
have this baby at the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you ever ask people
That's
to call
true.
you?
You need elements from story one.
Yeah.
Do you ever ask people to call you Dr. Johnson?
For a while I did.
Yeah, because that's also like that's a pretty good porn name if
Oh,
you ever want to get into
100%.
porn.
Even my name, my real name is a good point name too.
Yeah,
It's
It's
so true.
Yeah. So where that came from. So my father's John. I'm his son. John's son.
That's how they did it back in like medieval times.
Yeah, it's like very Nordic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
And that most people just think I'm
Be
a
like John's son.
yeah, people think I'm a big dick, giant, like asshole at times.
There it
So
is.
it plays.
Do you ever like nickname yourself or like going back to your kids how you didn't give middle names so they wouldn't change their name? Do you have a middle name? And have
my-
you ever played with changing your name?
No, I love my name. Yeah, I've grown up with it.
birth.
It's a
From
strong
birth.
name.
Yeah, it's a
It's
strong name.
name.
It was
No, but I'm
instilled.
saying like when you're like when
The
you're in
only-
grade 5,
yeah.
right? Like
The only time I didn't like it was in the Austin Powers movie came out.
was there a reference to that?
Yeah, when they're the giant ship.
Oh, that's a brief
It
second though.
yeah, it looks like a giant
Yeah,
Johnson.
and they go through names.
yeah. That was the only time. That's the only
I
time
like. Yeah, I've never had a nickname.
Well, Paul isn't.
That's
Paul is
it.
a one syllable.
That's what I'm saying.
Short name.
Like I know him as Carson. Like
my
I've never.
nickname's my last name.
I never
So
call
you're
him-
Johnson. My dad was Carr. He was a Carr, and I keep.
Yeah,
But
he
so
is.
the only nickname I've ever had is Johnny, Johns,
That's
Jono.
but that's like
Johns
Jono.
is probably cool.
Yeah,
I think
Johns
I-
is what everyone calls me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can
call-
see that becoming very easy to say.
I'm gonna call you
Pubert.
Pubert. So before Asher was born, because we did the first season of the podcast leading up to his birth, and because I had no idea what the fuck I was gonna do or doing, and so I didn't want to give away the name, so every episode we gave him like a different like random name. So yeah, that's
That's
So
what-
then,
That's
so
right.
that was
it one just was it one of the ones in the
no, we never used it. No,
No, we did it. Yeah, we purposely.
okay, I wasn't sure.
purposely,
Like so when you guys were having kids, how soon did you guys pick a name between
so
yeah. How long did you guys?
So-
before she even got pregnant, or
no, not at all. No, because I was saying we never. We planned on having kids, but
it happened quickly.
You're a freaking gives problems. So I didn't have a choice. She came up with Asher. I got.
But when
to
did
choose.
she tell you that though?
Like
5 months
No,
in, 1 month in?
I think it was like a week or two. We wanted to make sure everything was good before we named him. So
Oh, okay.
it was after because
So like 3 months in.
no. Like when we wanted to make sure that she was actually pregnant. So it was
Got
it was within the first week. She thought of Asher, and then I took Jacob, and then
Yeah.
how about you?
That's good. Me and Jamie would always make. Jamie's my wife, by the way. We would make like lists.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, James. She doesn't watch.
She doesn't watch. No,
She's a little busy.
Not supportive? No.
Yeah, she is. She'll
just-
listen. By letting me come here, she's supportive.
There it
Yeah,
is. We got
honestly.
3 kids at home, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I left at my house at 5:30. That's prime time.
Do you know what? You can blame me. I was late. That's what what we're running with.
I'm always late.
I'm actually always on time. But anyway, so we made a list on like our iPhones, like in notes, and we just like put names in.
Yeah.
And generate a list, and then we had a discussion. At the end of the day, all her names are the names that made it in our list.
Okay.
what
So
were your names?
I wanted to name
Who came up with Atlas?
Jamie.
But-
Atlas,
I
right?
like that name.
Yeah.
I-
But like,
'cause
why?
I like
Where
it.
does that come from?
Okay, you want me to give you the quick? We've never done this before.
You've never told anyone.
I'm bringing something new to the fans.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joey's name came from Jamie's grandfather, whose name was Joey.
Okay.
And so we were gonna name our first girl Joey. We didn't want it for a boy, so if we never had a girl, the name would have been something
Should we
different.
go? Whoa.
Yeah. So exactly, but it's funny because she called her Zadie Joey. She thought that all grandfathers were called like, this is my Joey, like a kangaroo is
baby
a Joey.
kangaroo, yeah.
So that came from that. Chase, her middle name, was named after our dogs, all of our animals. So Charlie, Harley, and Sony, like between me and Jamie,
Yeah.
whatever. Sunny was just a name we liked, so it was on the list.
But
It
it's
was
S-U.
Sunny, like
Yeah.
normal, like not Sonny. It's Sunny. But her middle name Faye is after my booby, so
Yeah.
Sunny Faye. And
Coolest
Atlas
booby ever.
is best ever.
Yeah.
And Atlas was just, we liked the name again. The
It was,
list
it was between that and dictionary. Like,
and R, yeah, exactly. And Rain was R after
his
my
middle name's
other-
Rain.
Atlas Rain.
That's a strong name.
Yeah, and
Purple
the
Rain.
ironic part is it's such a strong, powerful name, and I got like a
He's-
sick tattoo of like the Atlas god.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm just showing
Okay,
them.
did you? Okay, so do you have one for each?
he's
Do
tiny.
you have one for each?
I do.
Okay.
I can show them to you after.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it'll
They're
show up here.
private.
Look at this one.
We're really getting to know each other. Too.
Really, but he was below the 1 percentile on weight until like last week, and now he's on the 3 percentile.
So,
So,
like-
he's got a big,
Oh,
powerful name, and he's
Atlas.
tiny.
How many inches is he?
fine.
Tall?
Yes.
34 inches
Yeah,
tall.
and Asher's like 28.
Yeah.
What's the age
Oh,
difference?
because you didn't get to meet Asher. Asher's 5 months
Asher's
old.
5 months.
Yeah.
Atlas is 3.
I'm like a brand new
Years
dad.
old?
Yeah, not months. Years old. He is tiny.
Okay.
You can put him in his pocket.
He's so
That's
cute
so
though.
cute.
I put him in.
He's a cute
I
kid.
put him in bags and hung him on like doorknobs. He's like so little.
My kids are tiny as well, so
Yeah.
I like it. It's funny when they're small because to me, my kids look like tiny humans.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have any of the baby fat.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting when I look at them sometimes versus
Wearing like a
some
little
of my
suit and a briefcase.
some of my buddies' kids, and so that even for like going to the name thing, the reason I was curious about that is as Aston was getting born, and with Aiden, my group of friends,
Yeah.
everyone was having kids,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
By
Are
happenstance,
they all are your friends relatively around your same age, or do you hang out with older people,
everyone's
younger?
around my same age.
Okay.
So like I have a handful of my like I'm in a group chat that has 18 of us in it. That we
Oh
all,
God, that's my fucking
many
nightmare.
friends.
It's on Do Not Disturb. And
Yeah.
I'll go and I'll catch up. It's a lot of sport betting that gets talked about these days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so with that though, I think there was like 4 or 5 kids when
Yeah.
Aston was getting born, due in the same like 2 months.
Got it.
And so
That's exciting.
yeah, it's very exciting for everyone. But I was really wanted to make sure that because we picked Aston early.
Yeah, that nobody else would accidentally choose the same name.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
So I changed the name of my holding company to Aston Andrews Holdings, and I posted the articles of incorporation.
Also a good porn name.
That's a smart idea.
And
So
I-
they saw the name, they wouldn't take
They
it.
can't take it. So I posted it in a group chat with all of them, like, none of you can have this name, right? And I did it early because I didn't want anyone else to be
And
thinking
did they
about
all
it.
just be like, dude, we weren't going to choose that name. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, they're like, you're crazy.
Get
Why
over
are you-
yourself,
like-
bro.
That's
You're
a
like-
little bit, yeah.
But
Yeah.
so that's the extent of which that I'll typically go for things and to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
that I get the way that I want it.
I just lick
You would
things.
trademark the name.
Yeah,
You're
no.
like a Kardashian.
I'm like, I like it, I lick it. That's how I go.
That's what Sunny does. So you and my daughter are in the same
We're
playing
special.
field.
We're special. It works out. So your life has drastically changed since you had children.
I would say so. Well, so
Okay.
drastically changed in the last year.
Okay.
Okay.
What was it like the year before?
Not good. So in the last year was where for me, my background, I played hockey growing up. When I went to school, I was doing finance. I started working in the financial industry.
Yeah.
There is a lot of excess, you
Yeah.
could call it.
Okay.
Right? So throughout my life drinking, I would always be like a binge drinker.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a person I would never drink every day, but if I'd go out on Friday, I'm coming home Sunday.
What's your drink of choice, or was your drink of choice?
Oh, I would go hard with vodka.
Okay,
and
so you're-
whiskeys.
you're a
I would
vodka
lick-
kind of guy.
liquor. I would drink liquor. Yeah.
I was gonna say that you look like a Smirnoff Ice kind of guy.
Sure enough.
No, I liked old fashions.
Mike's hard
when I,
lemonade.
old fashions when I go to a restaurant because you can tell how the bartender is if they cut the orange properly.
I
right?
just like
if they use the
I'll
rind.
order
Yeah.
I'll order an old fashioned. I'll drink it. I'll make a face, and I just order it to look
Oh,
cool.
They look cool.
I
yes.
like frozen drinks.
Really?
I'm like a cocktail.
Paul's
kind
a
of guy.
sugar guy though. Like he's not he doesn't like alcohol. He likes sugar
No, to be
drinks
hon-
that
so
will get you fucked
My
up.
drink of choice is like a mojito.
Yeah, that's
I
a sugar
I
shrink.
do like a good mojito.
But I
Mojitos
like it
are
non-sweet.
or I
delicious.
did.
I like it non-sweet mojitos. So like I
a
say,
sour
like,
mojito.
No, just like a maybe like just a smidgen of sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a good
Some
berry.
salt.
If it's a berry mojito or a mango mojito, like I don't need no sugar in that shit. But that's
No.
my drink.
Yeah.
I don't even
like
like to drink it all.
mojitos.
So then, are you cold turkey now? Like, do you drink it all? Like, are you,
No, so going back, like I would always binge drink, and so I stopped right before Aston was born.
What was the moment? What was like that deciding factor that you're like, fuck this, I'm out?
just Aston coming?
No, I was in the hospital.
Oh fuck.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for excessive drinking.
Okay.
Like it was bad.
Yeah.
So were you like you were eating poorly? You were out of shape?
No,
like mentally.
I was out for a night and I woke up in the hospital.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was the way I would drink. It was not fun. I just drank, right?
Gotcha.
Till the end, you
Yeah.
couldn't. It's
Till
not-
I couldn't
it's not-
till I couldn't anymore. I pushed it right to the limit.
Yeah.
And then that was when Aston was like 5 months, or Aaron was like 5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and it was also during COVID. So COVID also
Yeah.
brought
Yeah,
Stopping
it-
everyone.
So I stopped.
Accelerates it,
Accelerated. I don't know. But I'd always been that way, right? So if it wasn't then, it would have been another time.
Yeah.
And then so I stopped cold turkey then.
Yeah.
And I did just around 2 years, and then so I had started again, thinking like, 'cause I didn't
could
have
just
the-
do
I didn't
one,
have the same type of.
Okay.
I didn't in my head when I stopped drinking with Aston. I was like, I will drink again, just not right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break, right? And so when I kind of started to dip my toes back in, I was good for a bit, but then is quickly going back to the exact same way.
Yeah.
And then realistically, my relationship with alcohol and other things, it was never healthy.
Yeah.
The same way other people's is. And then so that was also something within my work life balance and everything else.
Yeah.
It didn't exist,
Yeah.
right? It was either I was doing everything
All or nothing.
Yes. And then so for me, then the last year, right around when the separation occurred,
Yeah.
the drinking had gotten bad to the point again where it's like, something bad would have happened to me again.
Yeah.
And so that's where, when that was all happening, it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore because of the fact that if I do, I only get my kids a handful of times.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't the catalyst for the separation, but it was definitely a reason
Yeah. It's
because
just part of the
it was
puzzle.
the
It's a
overall,
complicated.
there was the overall version of me in which that was there. It's
Yeah.
like I would go to work. I'd go to my office at 7 a.m. I'd come home at 5. I'd do dinner with the kids. I'd go back to the office at 7, work till 10, and then I'd go meet my friends out at the bar.
Yeah.
So you were never home.
Never.
Okay.
Right. And then so, because that goes back to my thinking of if I'm making money and
That's my job. I'm
that's
doing
my
it.
job,
Yeah.
no one can say anything to me.
Okay.
Right. I was in my head just going back to it. It's like, oh, okay, if work's going good, everything's good.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't. And so that was the part where, with the kids not being with me all the time, I really could have went down an even worse way.
Yeah.
Right.
It could be bad. Yeah.
It could have been bad. But then I also started to look at it like I can't be hungover when I have my children because I only have them now a couple days a week.
And you have them on your own.
Yeah.
On my own.
Did,
Right.
did,
It's like-
did they ever say anything to you? Like, did your kids ever been like, I want you around more?
No, they're two.
You're
right?
too young. They're not
They're-
verbalizing
true.
that.
They were very young, but you can see it now.
Yeah.
In terms of the way in which that they treat me because I am there, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like it's realistically a very different relationship because I'm different with everyone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like even my friends can say that.
And
can
probably
see that.
better from a work perspective, you're probably doing better. I can
way
only
better.
assume that
It's
Yeah,
way better.
it's everything, right?
Like,
Yeah.
like going to the work thing. I've never had an issue with work. I've been fortunate enough that I could function. I was
you're
very functional.
Yeah, totally.
But
I
it's
know.
also-
I know a few
There's
people
so
like that.
many people that you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know that are just like getting wasted during the day and working. Like, and it's,
So I was always in the dark. Right?
Yeah.
So I would not have drinks until nighttime.
which is
Right? Like
understandable because
that
of
was-
what you're doing. You can't.
Yeah,
But,
that
but
was
it's also your justification. It's like
Right.
I can do this because it's not happening during the day. It's not
exactly
affecting my life.
And then so for me, I would always go to work the next day because if you miss work, then you have a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it was never really anything that ever got in the way of work.
That's good. Yeah.
But it was
Well,
subconscious.
not good, but-
Well, it is, but it isn't because it
Yeah.
allowed me to keep on having this defense mechanism.
yeah. Well, I can still do what I'm doing, so it's not a problem.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
was getting nominated nationally as a top producing mortgage agent in the country.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you to talk to me? It's like,
Exactly. Get
right?
on my level.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, just because work is good doesn't mean that my relationships with everyone around me was good. They were all
It's that balance.
So where were you mentally at the time? Because I know you said that you go to, or you were in therapy.
Yeah, still go see a psychologist
That's
once
awesome.
or twice a week.
Okay.
I go to meetings and everything else. So like my support system now is fantastic.
That's good. And you need it.
Yeah, I need it, and
Yeah.
that's the part in which that I kind of.
But it's good that you can like admit it, because like being self-aware enough and emotionally intelligent enough to be like, hey, there is something wrong. I know I'm not too far gone. I can fix it, is something that a lot of people don't do.
Yeah,
And
it's the defeated part, right?
exactly,
Like,
right? Like it's
I think waking up in a hospital.
But even then,
you
I wasn't
can't-
done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like that was enough to take you off tracks for a
do you,
bit.
Yeah,
do you
but
think that
not
came from
permanent.
like your discipline from being an athlete?
So, truthfully, I think that a lot of my self recognition now, in terms of my ability to see that I have issues and everything else, came from people, not me. Right.
Okay.
So my girlfriend, who's fantastic, she's come along at the right time, and she's the type of person that she finally got through to me
That's cool.
and helps me realize these things. But it also did put a lot of pressure on her, because at the time she was like almost my therapist,
It is a
sponsor,
it's
like
nice that
all
she
of
took-
it, right?
Does
And then-
she drink or
No.
Okay, so you guys just don't do it together.
Yeah, we don't drink.
Okay.
But so like that was also one thing in which that, even for me getting back into dating,
It's hard.
it's like I should have figured my shit out and not forced it upon her, because that's a ton of pressure to put onto someone.
Yeah,
right?
but sometimes you need
need
that
that-
person
right.
to help you
And
out
And
of
she
that
knows,
hole.
and she's not a kid. She knows what she's getting in.
Right,
So she
but-
understands the circumstances.
100%.
And your name's
but-
Johnson Andrews, man. Come on.
right?
Fuck.
But I would say, like, in terms of my ability to stop something,
Yeah.
that's coming from sport.
Okay.
right? I would say 100% that is. And then it's also, if I'm the type of person, if I'm going to do something, I want to be the best at it.
That's same.
So now I want to be the best sober person, which
Okay.
exactly isn't
I'm more
exactly
sober than anyone. I won't even
And
drink
then-
water.
And you learn, and I've
I have
started
the
to
alcohol drawn out of me.
and then you learn that that's not exactly the way that you're supposed to read it. It's not a competition.
Yeah.
But it is.
But everything's a competition. Like who your favorite kids are every week.
I won't tell them out
Who's
loud.
mine
It's,
this week? I don't
it's this week. It's Aston. No,
Carson's like,
no,
it's
no,
not
no,
Joey.
no.
'cause
he
she's
gave
just
me.
puking.
He
everywhere.
gave me a great hug today.
That's
so.
nice. That's,
That's
fulfilling.
amazing.
So how often do you have your kids?
3 days a week.
Okay,
now.
cool.
And
So
you guys, and you said you're on good terms now with your ex.
it was good terms the whole time. So which was awesome. Maybe.
But I'm
maybe
saying,
not-
like,
maybe
you
not the whole
guys,
time.
you guys are both in a better place because
Oh,
of this
yeah.
separation. You're a better person. She's
She's better.
and then
She's
so
thriving.
together you can appreciate
Yeah, like,
each other more now.
And it wouldn't have been like, it would have gotten to the point, like, at the end of the day, that as much as I love my work, I love my clients, I love everything I do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I was choosing that over being at home.
It's
Yeah,
because
right.
you're avoiding it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so that avoidance would have led to my kids not having a present father.
Yeah.
yeah, for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
luckily it's
then what-
been, because
then-
they're not going to remember the early shit. So this is your opportunity to really
Yeah.
just like
And that's the part I'm super grateful for,
Fucking
because
ride.
I do beat myself up a lot over the times that I missed with Aston.
Yeah.
And that even comes within being sober.
so early though.
Yeah, so
Like,
early,
you're
but
good.
it's like you do look back, right?
Yeah,
And even
but those memories will become distant as you get more.
as I get more
memories
of them.
Exactly.
of great
Yes,
times
yes.
with them.
So-
3-year-old, 8-year-old,
So
12-year-old.
speaking of memories,
Yeah.
you went on a nice little solo trip with the kids.
Yeah.
You went to Florida, you said?
Yeah. So
And this was the first time. So you went from like not spending any alone time,
Mm-hmm.
which I literally just had 7 hours. We talked about the last episode.
7 hours.
7,
You went
8
to
hours.
Florida.
No, I know. I'm just saying it was the first time that I spent alone with Asher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So like it's
how stressed were you?
It's she was way more stressed than I was.
That happens too.
Yeah. So you went traveling on a plane with the first time alone. Did you travel with them before, like with like your parents or your
No.
ex? So this was the first time they were on a plane as well.
Actually, so no. So they've flown.
Okay.
Okay. They have flown with Aaron. I would never really take vacations.
Yes.
So-
Even vacations aren't vacations. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So like Aaron would go on vacation. She would go to Florida. She'd go because my parents go down there for a couple months every year.
Okay, they're snowbirds.
Yeah. So they're turning into snowbirds, you could call it, right?
Okay. They're getting there.
Yeah. So
Snow pups.
Yeah. So
pups.
Aaron would go down there with the kids. I would fly out on the Friday and go home Sunday by myself, right?
Okay.
Like just go for the weekend.
Well, I'm sorry, my brain just went to what's a baby bird called? Just a baby bird? Like every animal
bird, a
has
pretty little baby bird.
snowbird,
It's a-
right?
it's
So like we said, snow
chick.
pup.
It's a
The
chick.
pup
It's
is
a
a
chick.
young dog.
It's a chick.
Is a chick for
Uh,
a
is it a
bird or
hatchling?
is that chicken? Only which came
I
first?
know.
Sorry,
Welcome
my brain
to the
like
Dad.
shut off.
Welcome
when
to the
that
Dad
said-
Collective podcast.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, you went to Florida.
One day
So
we'll
I
have
went to
like
Florida,
a
but so-
straight conversation.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so they have flown, but I have not. Aston, when he was a baby, he had flown, but like that didn't count because
Yeah, of course.
Aaron did everything. I didn't do anything.
and you went with two.
And then so Aaron went down with them to start on the trip. She was there Thursday to Tuesday.
Okay.
And then I flew down and I was there with them Tuesday to Tuesday.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Okay, so
That's a good way to do it.
And that was the most time that they've had with me consistently for
That amount of
in
time, yeah.
one stretch.
So-
And so that trip to me was the best trip I've ever been on.
So I'm gonna ask because he went to Florida with his kids for 3 weeks. What was the best part, the best memory? What was the worst?
We drove there, by the way.
in their fucking
drove?
minivan.
There and back, and not a minivan, but yes.
Oh wow!
So I used to
We
drive to
loved
Florida
it.
every year
Yeah.
with my family, and it was some interesting times. But yeah, what was like the peak in the valley of the trip? If we want to talk Kardashians, because that's what they do.
What were yours?
Oh, I've mentioned it. So yeah, I mean, I said it's funny. I said my answer was the best part was that I got to be with my kids for so long, and the worst part was I had to be with my kids for so long,
Yeah,
and that was like the truth, right?
Yeah.
There's ups and downs every day.
yeah.
So I think for me the best part was to actually see them on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
How they are throughout the day,
Yeah.
like the ebbs and flows of things,
And like their
Because-
personalities.
Yeah, and as they're coming out, my son, I got to watch him learn how to dive into the pool.
Okay, cool.
That was really sweet.
Yeah.
But the best part would have been the first day I got there.
Okay.
Okay. Got there, spent the whole day with them, and then sunset. Was out there with them. Never even when I was there. When I would go down, I'd miss it because I'd have a call or something like that. What like not paying attention, like not being there,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
there with my kids. Didn't even have my phone. Right.
That's cool.
First day, and then sunset was great. Dolphins, right,
Dolphins.
jumping
It's
around.
like a fucking Super
Right,
Nintendo
it's
game.
just one of those things in which it's like holy
wave race.
It's one of those things in which like the weight of the world is gone, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm just enjoying time with my kids, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, that was the absolute best moment.
Okay.
And then to even add on to it as to like why now everything's so much more fulfilling because I have more balance is like after we had this amazing moment. Get to go back to my phone, which I'd left for an hour, which I never do. It had blown up.
Yeah.
Because I had just been named like the top young achiever in Canada for the agent under 35.
There you go.
Right.
So it's like a peak
It's like
work moment and a peak
work
kid moment.
But it's funny that it happens in the fact that like I used to pay attention to those award
And
shows.
now it just doesn't fucking matter.
and I would know, I'd
Yeah.
watch them. I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
Right? Like I truly didn't even know.
Yeah.
I would even be going attending them when I'd get nominated before.
Yeah.
Not even bringing anyone.
Yeah.
Right? Just going for me.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
now where I'm like, I didn't even know what was going on. I had this amazing moment with my kids. It just goes to show that
How
What's
little
it-
that shit matters.
yes,
Yeah. Well, what's really important?
exactly.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you can have balance, still be performing well,
Yep. Yeah.
while having that relationship with your kids. And so to me, that's something that I'm going to double down on because even with that, talking about kids and work, I'm a better version of me when I'm talking to my clients now because
Yeah, they're all connected.
it's all connected in the sense that like before I'd just be working so much that I'd almost start to resent having to talk to so many people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now because I'm talking to people in a place of like I'm not hungover. I'm also
just a
then,
better
I'm-
mindset.
I have more,
Yeah.
I have fulfillment because I have a
You're,
relationship
you're
with my
excited
kids.
about what's after work.
I'm when I talk to people, it's just so they can feel it when they talk to you.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then something in which that to
That's
me,
awesome, man.
It's awesome. Like
So
It's-
on today's date, you're in the best place you've ever been.
some might call it that. And
That's
then-
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Does that scare you though? Because that's how my brain works.
What?
That things get too good, something bad's gonna happen. That's how my
Yeah,
brain.
I can see how that's
I'm always I'm always in a state of fight or flight, I think.
Yeah.
And so to me it's like even with the kid stuff, I know it can only get better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. With work,
But it only gets better if you stay better.
right.
Yeah.
And then so that's the part in which that scares me.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Because it has beaten me before when it comes to
Yeah, yeah.
my other side of me,
Yep.
like in terms of when it comes to overworking, when it comes to drinking, when
Yeah.
it comes to everything else.
And that's all hand in hand.
Yeah, and then but the part of that's cool about it is the things in which that could make it go bad are in my control,
Exactly.
right? And then so with me being the person that is very controlling,
Yeah.
I feel comfort there, so it doesn't scare me as much because I also now
perfect.
have the support system I need.
Do you try to
keep that.
avoid situations? Do you not go out as much? Do you not go out with client as much? Or-
So one of my best friends is getting married. He was having a bachelor party in Mexico.
Okay.
The week before Florida, I was actually going to go to it and then fly to Florida.
Okay.
So when the trip was booked, it was in what would it have been? September.
Okay.
So it would have been in September, right around when I was getting sober. Like I think I got sober the month before. And no, I did get sober the month before. I know the date. I don't want to talk.
That's fine.
But so I got sober the month before. When we booked the trip, right, it was one of those things in which that's like, yeah, I'll go. And is to me in my head, I think I wasn't completely turned yet in the sense of like, I don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to go on this trip and I'm either going to be good, like I won't want to drink, or I'm going to go on the trip and I won't care that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to the point in which that is the week before the trip, and I'm like, I can't go to this because I don't want to drink, right? And so that's the part in which that's the situation in which that I know I can't go to right now.
But do you feel like you'll get to a point where you can?
Yeah, because nothing else, like, it's not, to me, it's like the environment I'm in, the way that I drank, the way that I am. It was never, I craved it, but if I did have one, I was going to have 60.
Okay, so you're that, yeah.
So to tie this up to, because in the last episode, we talked about like, you know, it was a little more general, but we talked about just like qualities of a good dad. And to me, like we tried to think of as many as we could, both specific and not. And to me, one that kind of came to the surface just talking to you today was, we didn't say it, is the ability to recognize that you can do better.
Yeah.
So I think that like if you are the kind of dad who thinks you have all the answers or that you're perfect the way that you are, that you're providing in a certain way, whatever it is, and you stay that way, you can become a person who might be considered not the greatest father in retrospect.
Because everything's changing.
It's changing.
So you have to evolve as...
So being able to recognize I can be better at this, or I want to do better at that, or I want to change my life around is probably like the underlying kind of foundation to like what makes a good dad, is being able to recognize that you can be a better dad.
What makes you a good person in general, like having that self-awareness and, like I said, emotional intelligence and all that stuff to know when you're fucking up, to know where you can do better, and to even know when you can.
It's only going to make you a better dad, I guess.
Yeah,
or not. So that's 100% true, right? But even then, it's like those are skills in which that get learned over time.
Exactly.
Right. The other
They're not
side,
inherent. Yeah.
The other side of it is, you have people around you in which that will call you out on your shit.
Yeah.
But then at the same time,
takes a village. That's what they say.
Be willing to accept it when they are, because I've had people in my life that have told me, "Hey, you should stop this. Hey, you should do this." And it's like,
fuck you.
Yeah. I was defiant against.
But you also have to be ready to take the advice.
And that's the part where it's like, realistically, if you're getting someone that cares about you, that's giving you advice,
at some point you listen
to it, but then you actually need to cognitively make the change.
Yes.
Because for me,
words are words, actions actions.
For me,
some people can just agree. It's like, yeah, you're right, I should do that, but you don't change.
Right. And then so even with me, it's like with the drinking, right? When I first stopped drinking, it's like, I'm not drinking anymore. Everything's okay. Going back to like I'm working, I'm making money. Everything else is okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was still the same person in terms of I would do things that were selfish. I might manipulate. I might do things that are inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I needed to go to another level to get more support to learn about myself. Because if I continued to do the things in which that I was doing when I was drinking, but I'm not anymore, now I'm just an asshole.
Now you have nothing to blame it on.
Right. So
I just blame it on Carson.
Yeah.
Blame it on the alcohol.
I was very good at that.
Yeah.
I was very good at that.
No, that's awesome. So
very interesting.
Your
stories.
kids, they're growing up. What do you see them being in the future?
Honestly, whatever they want to be.
Super early too.
So,
listen, man, I like to put it on them.
You don't see, just because you bought your son a guitar doesn't mean he's going to be a rock star.
So my son, if I could force anything upon him, it'll be a sport
related stuff.
Sport related, just because for me, with my background,
you want to share interests with you.
Share interests, but then at the same time, I think there's value in it. Like
hockey's the one with the round thing on the.
I might say an individual sport just because it's less intensive in terms of scheduling,
like handball,
like golf,
like golf. That's not a team sport,
right? So the team sport side of it, I think, is important.
Yeah.
The reason being is, to me, I had so many lessons I learned playing sports. Particularly, like the biggest one for me is that you could put your absolute best towards something.
Yeah.
Still might not be good enough. and that's okay. You need to learn how to
Yeah.
deal with that, and then either come back harder.
Yeah, and we talk
or
about that
pivot.
often on this, like about like also like
Participation
participation,
No,
but also what
yeah.
the good stuff that comes out of like learning to lose and learning to be a good loser and all that stuff.
So to me, it's like I think there will be if I see them doing anything, it's something in which that I know growing up I want them involved in sports.
But at the end of the day, whatever
But I
makes
don't.
them happy.
But at the end of the day, whatever makes them happy.
Yeah.
But I know the one thing is I want that to be an anchor in terms of within parenting is something within sports, just because I took so much from it.
Would you be a coach? You
No.
coach, no.
No, I can't.
Would
No.
you?
Yell,
I'll be-
"Get
What
the
if he
fuck
came up
out."
to you and he's just like, I want to go into the finance industry.
He said, "Then let's go."
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you, I'll take a video of him. If you ask my son, Aston, what are you going to be when you grow up? He says mortgages. Yeah, we drive by a bank. Aston, what do you get? What's
so
that?
cute.
He goes, the bank. Well, what's at the bank? They give us the mortgages. Oh, yeah, he knows.
Tuppence.
Unless if you're TD and you delay everything,
Yeah,
you fucking
but
assholes.
he wheels around with like one of the little play computers. It's,
Oh,
it's
that's
his,
awesome.
It's his iPad.
That's so sick.
Because now, like going back to like before,
Negotiating rates with you, like
Yeah.
no, I want 2.4 Oreos.
Hey, man,
But
we
so-
can put him and Asher in touch, and
there we go.
do a dream team.
But so for me though, that's one thing too that's kind of changed. Before, when I'd be around the kids,
They
if
wouldn't
work-
even know what you were doing.
correct. So if work happened, I'd get up, I'd go away from the table,
Yeah.
take the call, come back to the table, right? To me now, I didn't have any balance. So now what I'm trying to do is almost like bring them together. And I think it was Jeff Bezos that talked about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, so if you can show your kids how much work means to you and you involve them in your work,
Yeah.
they're going to respect it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be then involved and they're going to know that you care.
So
good
he's going to
point,
start
but They
underwriting
just
for you
want
soon?
They just
Maybe.
want to be included.
Right.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you have to go the other way. If you have to make sure your clients know how important your family is to you. as
Totally.
well, so that then
I
when
told
you,
Paul that when he has his kid, his business will go up because you just bring. Oh, you want to see pictures of my kids,
Yeah,
and
but-
your family means something to you.
but it's you want to almost let them coexist.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time I separated them. And then now that I kind of bring it together more.
That's
It's all
awesome.
good. So did you? Was this podcast therapeutic at all for you?
You know what? This was awesome.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
You had a
yeah,
good
yeah.
time?
It's a fun time.
I was very nervous to come on the podcast.
Were you?
I can imagine that
Only-
maybe.
The main reason being is just because at this point now, I'm only just feeling like I'm a
A dad.
present dad.
You're
Yeah.
a dad, man.
And then, so for me, it's like I know I wanted to talk through it with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like self-reflection. It's at times it's not
It's tough.
pretty. It's not
Right.
pretty.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's turned me into the person that I'm happy about.
That's
and
awesome,
hopefully,
man.
people can take something and learn from it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what's your?
that's
And
awesome.
you mentioned earlier where you had you made a joke about like your Instagram. What is your Instagram? Plug it. Go for it.
Oh shit! I don't know what
Because
Johnson Andrews with 2 S's at the end.
Yeah.
Andrews SS
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice for
Love
all your
it.
mortgage brokering needs.
Yeah, we'll drop his info in the description.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for-
Honestly,
thanks
like
for being here.
this is I'll say with pure conviction and truth that this is the first podcast where I was like actually laughing so much at times and also like feeling very like overwhelmed with emotions at times because like these funny stories and
Yeah.
and then
Were you gonna
the
cry?
real serious. I wasn't gonna cry, but it was just like real shit.
It's real
mixed
shit.
with like
Fun shit.
hilarious, funny, insane birth stories.
Yeah,
that are
and,
like,
and once again, if you are
Yeah,
somehow having a
what
baby
did we
at home,
learn? Don't run with scissors.
don't run with scissors.
And if you have anyone in your family
Is a nurse.
that has
It's
any idea
medical experience. Like
medical
seriously,
experience, like,
if you've watched all of Grey's Anatomy to season like 45, just
been around that
do it.
long.
Just do it. I
Yeah,
I
like,
don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
no, yeah, don't try and do it yourself.
Yeah, don't.
And,
that's like anything. If you're not the best at it, outsource.
Exactly.
If you're not first, you're last.
I just sort of because it's gonna bog because I'm gonna rewatch it. Wave Race was Nintendo 64, not
I
Super
know.
Nintendo.
It's so
That
funny
was
that
a
you
good
say
game.
that. When I made the Super Nintendo reference, I instantly thought
Were
like,
you thinking F-Zero?
no, I was just thinking like, no, I was thinking Wave Race, couldn't think of the name, so hit Super Nintendo, and then realized the name Wave Race and realized Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it was just eating. It was eating at me, and I know like sometimes I'd be
That's why you've
watching
been
it.
so
I'm just
distant
Like, that's
this
why I'm just like
episode.
I checked out. I did.
You're
I was like,
like,
fuck
that's
this guy. He doesn't know his Nintendos. But if you are listening to us on any of the audio
and he knows
stuff,
what Nintendo systems
and you
what.
know what Nintendo system is what, make sure you rate us 5 stars. Drop a little comment because you can win something off the wall. And thank you for listening online because you know it is a fun time. But if you're watching us,
This is a
you're-
visual episode,
It's a
I feel.
visual. This is a visual thing.
I didn't get dressed up for nothing.
No, it's
And I didn't wear my
Neither did I.
I didn't put my girlfriend socks on for you guys not to like this video.
You look great. So if you're watching on the YouTubes, once again, make sure you smash that like button. hit the subscribe and that bell so you know when we're uploading, and drop a little comment. If you've ever felt like you're not like living up to be the dad that you want to be, let us know. Just, engage with us other than
And more importantly, just tell us your story, because every story to great dadness is different.
I thought that was going to be more of a dad pun.
Nope.
But thanks so much for watching.
I'm Daniel,
I'm Paul,
and
I was Johnson.
this is
the Dad Collective.
Pod.
Cast.
See you in the next one. That was butter.
Take care.
That was
Guys,
it's like we
thank you.
practiced that. Like a boy band.
Thank you.
The guy